Welcome to my old ranch. I had a problem a couple of weeks ago with just about losing that big bale. And really I did lose it, but I strapped it, was able to save it. So in this video, I'm going to show you in detail what's wrong with these forks and why I keep having this problem. And I'm also going to then take the tractor over and fix the problem. So stay with me to the end, and after I fix the problem, I'm going to come back and I'm going to pick this bale up and you'll see how much better that it works. Okay, so what we have here is these are the forks that I'm using for this bale of hay. Now this is really designed for round bales. So you have two stabilizer spears at the top and then one long spear down at the bottom. Now what happens is with my trailer I can't get down to the bottom of it without messing up my trailer. And so the spear goes all the way through the bale out the other side and then doesn't hold and then goes up, and you see here I almost lost this bale again. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take the tractor over to the shop and I'm going to modify this, and you'll be able to see whether it works or not. Now stay with me through this, because after I modify it, I'm going to come back and I'm going to pick this bale up and we're going to see how well that it works. Okay, I'm back at the shop. Now what I've got to do is I'm going to add two more spears onto here. You see this one here, and the length of it is 44 inches, about a little over, well, 3 foot 8 inches long, which is too long for a shorter bale. So I'm going to add two spears, one here and one here is what I'm going to do. So that is my dilemma. So let's go ahead and see what materials it is that I have to work with. Okay, so now we're in the shop and I have these two U-bolts that I found that I have left over from semi-truck that I've been working on, and I have a couple of the pieces. I know I have another one of these someplace, but I could not find it. I was hoping to find two of them that were the same length, but this one here will do. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to straighten this. I'll straighten both of these and then I'll cut it off to the length that I want, and then I'll weld it on to the forks. Okay, well, I've got my rosebud, got it ready. So let's put one of these in the vise. And I will straighten it. Adjust this so it's very hot. And I'll begin the process. So I'll start at one end. I should have grabbed my glove. And I've got to heat this for a while to get it nice red hot. And then what I'll do is I'll move, as it bends, I'll gradually move down to get it straight. You're working a little bit of time. Be patient with it, and you can get it pretty straight. You can see a little at a time, gradually heat at the head and then cool off behind, and that way you're only bending the area or the spot that you need to actually make it so it ends up straight. Should have put this a little different on the table. It was not quite heavy enough, really. I'm afraid I'm going to have to get my glove or clamp on this because it's going to get hot here shortly. Just steady pressure. Watch where it's moving. Well, I'm not sure when the camera cut out, but you can see this is pretty straight. Straight enough for what I'm doing. Now I'm going to do the other one. So I'll be back in a minute. Okay, now that I have straightened both of them, now I need them to be the same length. So we'll put this one on here, put it up down there, mark it with a soapstone where I need to cut it. Still a little warm. Now I'm going to take the cutoff saw and I am going to cut it off. Oop, I need my ear protection. And I'm going to cut it off. I was just going to set and look at the device so I don't have this movement. But the wheel's a little bit small. There it is. Right now, I'm going to change this to my grinding wheel, and then I'm going to put a point on both of them. Alright, got my grinding wheel here. And now I'm going to grind both of them to a point. This will take me a little bit, so I'll pause here to conduct it. Okay, now I've got points on both of them. There's that one, and there's this one. This one I haven't polished up, so to speak, yet, because you want it to be as smooth as possible so it doesn't catch the hay as you're going in. So I've gone to my soft pad rather than a hard grinder, and what I'll do is I'll just go around and polish this up, so to speak, make it nice and smooth. And this is the final part of making my spears. So I'll go ahead and shine the other one up. Now the other one, I'll point this out. Since this one has threads, I went ahead and shined up the threads too a little bit, so that way there's a little less friction in the hay when it goes into the hay. So I'll go ahead and polish up this one, and then we're ready to weld them onto the tractor. With this welding machine here, I've had for probably 30 plus years. I've welded a lot of stuff. This one here actually came from my neighbor, and it's a flux cord wire feed, which I'm not crazy about, but it will probably do the job what we need here. All right, hopefully you can see what I've done. I was initially going to put the spears here on the outside, but I looked at that and said, you know, that's a good easy place to do it. Easy to line it up. So here's my spear. I have it clamped into position. So now I'm going to tack weld it first, and then I will weld it up. All right, there's one side. See if we can get the other side. Not without moving the welding machine a little closer. All right, I'll tack this one. All right, now I'll go ahead and pause this while I weld them up. Now, for those of you who don't know the difference or don't know what it is, the welding machine, the first one I showed you, has wire that comes out of the end of, oops, my gun. You see here, and there's gas that comes out that gives me the shielding so that the weld comes out correctly. Now, unfortunately, I'm out of wire on this one. Now, a flux cord, the same thing as a wire, but on the outside of the wire is the flux. So you don't actually use gas, is what happens here. So that's the difference in the two. Now I have to chip off the flux. So I'll grab my chipping hammer and well, that's an ugly weld. Don't like that at all. Well, I'll at least show you what the difference is. Oh, I wish I had something I could show you with the other one. It's only the second time I've ever used flux cord machine, but I'll show you what we got here. All right, well, you can see why I really don't like flux cord. It's not a very pretty weld, especially when you deal a little bit of dirt and rust. You can see that little hole right there. That's not acceptable. But for what I've got going here, it should do the job. So if using a regular MIG welder, I usually can make those welds very pretty. So now I'm gonna go jump on the tractor. I see I got some dirt on my face. Oh well. And we're gonna go pick up that bale, and we'll see how much better this works. Okay, I got set up. You can see now what the goal is. Here's my new spears. Here's my main one. Is I won't have to go as far into the bale to where the spear goes all the way through it and catches the other side of the trailer. So I'm going to stay at about the level here. That's my goal. And that way I don't damage my trailer. I've done that in the past. So let me jump in the tractor and pick it up. And we're both going to see if it works, how well it works together. Okay, now what I want to see, it worked pretty good, is did my spears hold up? So you can see here that they didn't bend, they held well. I was able to pick up the bale. The center of it was already very weak, so the center big spear didn't have a whole lot to grab onto. So these actually did most of the work right there, and they're relatively small. So you can see my fix did work. So thank you for watching my video. Thank you for joining me with my old ranch and my many projects that I've got going. I've got a bunch of them. So please like, subscribe, share. It really helps me a lot. And we will see you in the next video.